welcome back to another episode of what even is this podcast? Because it's been so long.
Pretty sure it's inactive listening.
Inactive listening, literally.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we're back after it's been like 2 months since our last episode.
Yeah. Feels like forever.
Walter's on spring break.
Quarter break technically,
Well,
but yeah.
Okay.
Spring break part 1, and 5 weeks ago on spring break. But yeah. I'm home right now.
And going back when?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. And my spring break is not for another like 2 weeks.
Wow.
I have next week. I have exams, a exam, and then I have break.
How long is your spring break?
1 week.
Okay. Same.
But yours is a 2-parter, 3-parter, 4-parter?
2-parter.
Okay.
Because I'm the quarter system, so
That's right.
I just finished my winter quarter. Or trimester system. You know, it's weird. I finished my winter trimester, and I'll start my last 10 weeks of the year on Monday.
Are you excited?
Yes. Dude, I'm so much more excited for this quarter than any other.
Excited for like classes and stuff, or like to be done?
Classes. Like I'm excited to go back to class, and
Interesting.
I learned a lot about myself this past quarter. So like I want to take what I learned and like actually apply it. Like I really want to do well this quarter. So I'm excited.
Very interesting. This intrigues me.
It does it.
Yes. Walter was just showing me a game.
Yeah, I guess so. In my free time, being home, I had a week home with nothing over my head. No homework over my head. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for Christmas, my brother and I we got a PlayStation, our first ever PlayStation console, and so since 2015, which now makes it 10 years and a whole decade, there's been one game at the top of my list I've wanted to play. It's a game called Shadow of the Colossus. It's just like, I could gush about it for forever. It did live up to my expectations. Like I enjoyed it thoroughly. I've put 12 hours in so far. I'm probably going to put another 10 or so before I'm done with it. But it's a game where all you do is you basically go around and explore this beautiful open world, like this, so much attention to detail, and like the architecture of the world, the landscaping, the design, the creatures that populate this world, and you go fight different colossi, giant bosses. There's 16 in total, and once you defeat all 16, the game ends. So it's a very simple concept, but these boss fights are so dynamic. Each boss is modeled to be like after a living thing, if that makes sense. So a lot of them are humanoid. There's minotaurs. There's like giant beasts. Some of them are actually pretty small too. Some of them are birds. Some of them are I don't know, snakes, underwater, in the air, riding on horseback. Like there's a lot of different ways to approach each boss fight, and it all just culminates in like a really satisfying puzzle game as you're trying to find their weaknesses, and also like action adventure game when you're like climbing these massive behemoths and finding their weak spots and taking them down. It's great.
And then they die tragic.
Yeah.
Sad. The music
and
cuts.
There's so much great theme work. Like it's a very thematic game. There's a lot of emotion behind it. You're kind of left with the feeling after you defeat every boss that like maybe what you're doing is not so heroic. It's a very somber moment when they like you watch them collapse, and you watch them, these once towering beings, like hit the earth for the last time. And it's I don't know, it's done so well. It really is a great game. I can't recommend it enough.
Interesting. And then you eat their soul, like the Dragonborn.
Yeah. Yes, you absorb their soul, and that's part of the story too. But yeah, it's been great. Like I kind of felt like a kid again. We talked extensively about Breath of the Wild before, and how like that game is perfect. I think objectively, I'd probably say Breath of the Wild is a better game than Shadow of the Colossus. Though as of right now, I don't know which one I like more. But
this one's still new, right?
No, this one.
Like new to you.
Oh, new to me. Yes, yeah. I've known about it. I've seen a lot about it for years now. Like it's been a very long time. Um, but it's fresh in my brain right now, so that's why I'm thinking about it a lot. But it's like when you look at it at face value, the game I just played, Shadow of the Colossus, is not technically a AAA game.
Okay.
Like it's only $20. It's not the standard 60 or 70 now.
Yeah.
It's very bare bones. Like really, all there is you watch a very short cutscene. You ride on your horse to get to the next arena in like 5 or 6 minutes, and then you fight the boss for 5 or 6 minutes, and then you go on the next one. Like it's a very short cycle.
So that's what I was gonna ask. Is there other enemies? Is there like
No other enemies.
Okay.
There are birds that follow you around that do nothing. They're just there because to populate the world. There's skinks, like lizards, and if you there are like special types of skinks you can hunt, and you take their tails and like you collect their tails as a collectible item. And then there are fruit trees, and if you eat the fruit off all these trees around the world, you get more health in your health bar. So it's like an incentive to do that. So really, the enjoyment comes from like being a kid, like taking something where there's like really nothing to it and applying your imagination. That probably sounds super lame to some people, but it's so fun. Like it really is just like you're alone. You're like alone in this land. It's called the Forbidden Lands. It's part of the story, and you just got to ask yourself like why, where did these lizards come from? Like what about these fruit trees make them so? You know what I mean? Like is there? In my head, I think like is there like a biblical connection? You know what I mean? Like
right.
Who made the colossi? Right? Like who made the bosses? Why did they choose to make them have weaknesses? Right? Like why not just make them impenetrable? Why model them after animals or give them human characteristics? Right? And so there's just so much like character. I'll say it again because I breathed. There's so much character in all of these creatures and the world itself. If you look like the boss arenas are very dynamic and different. You know, you fight some bosses in a desert, some in a cave, some underwater, some in the sky, some in a forest, some in a graveyard, some in a city. So like, and this like tiny map comparative to the rest of the world has the different geographies that the world has. Does that make sense? Like, even though they're really close together, this forest and this desert, it shouldn't, like, in the real world, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
It's not like that hard boundary. Like, there's a lot more blending before it is so clear cut. But it works so well in this game. Like, the Forbidden Lands do feel so believable, even though the desert is like a 40-second horse ride from the forest. It's like, it's really, they do such a good job.
Interesting. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Skyrim in the past week.
Yeah. Which is like a classic. Like
I know.
Always, you can always come back to Skyrim and it's like, this is still so much fun.
Dude, so it kind of reminded me of that and like a Dark Souls game because it seemed dark.
Yeah. Yeah. The combat's pretty similar too in a Dark Souls game. You have a role. I guess honestly that's pretty much it. You have stamina, I guess, but you can't. There's no shields. There's no parrying. If you get hit by a Colossus, you're pretty much dead. So you gotta like be smart and run away.
Whenever I was really little, I started playing Skyrim, probably like in middle school.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't played, I think, for like 6 years. Really early on, I got stuck. There was like a troll that just kept wiping me out, and then I was like,
"Oh yeah."
It was on the way to go to High Hrothgar. There's like a frost troll.
Yep. Yeah.
And I couldn't get past it for whatever reason.
I remember that troll vividly.
So I think I abandoned like going to High Hrothgar, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna do something else.
Yeah.
So I have a character I think that was like level 20 or something, and then I restarted it, and I mean I'm just cruising right along.
Yeah.
Really wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And then I started exploring the game. Learned about that. There's a lot of like bugs and stuff you can.
Oh yeah. Did you find the secret merchant chests?
I think
I did that all the time. and then I broke the economy because that like you need it. Yeah, it was
there's a
fun.
way that you can like drop items in. Well, Whiterun is like the main town, right?
Yep.
You can go to Whiterun and right as soon as like you go into the main doors, you can like take a left or whatever, and just like drop stuff on the ground. Have your follower pick it up, like command them to pick it up, and then you can leave and then come back, and they've picking up the items and the items are still on the ground. So then you just have like tons of diamonds and gold, which I use to like get my smithing
I
up
did
to
not know that.
100. So my smithing I think is at like 99 right
Wow.
now. Daedric armor, yeah. I mean,
You have Daedric armor already?
yeah. For me and my follower.
I never used the follower, so maybe that's why I never found that out. But
Interesting. Yeah. So you can just command them to pick stuff up, and it's like infinite carry weight. So even if they're full, you just tell them to pick whatever up, and then they pick it up, and you can be over encumbered and be on your horse, and then you can fast travel. There's like I don't know. There's a handful of, but it's been really fun.
yeah,
Outside of that though, Elden Ring, Night Rain. Have you heard of it?
is that the DLC?
I just heard about it the other day. It is a co-op Elden Ring coming out May 30th.
Really?
There's going to be up to 3 people, I think. So you can have it like I think you're supposed to play with people in groups of like 3. I've heard. So that's super exciting.
That's so cool.
I liked Elden Ring, and I always thought if it was multiplayer, I'd probably play it more. And now it might be. So that's exciting.
I never played Elden Ring. I was always trying to beat Dark Souls 3 first. But I mean, it's just that
I
sounds
jumped right in the
so
Elden Ring.
sick.
I should have played more of the Dark Souls games. But yeah, how's your school going?
School's going okay.
Or at least you finish it now. Winter semester.
Yeah, winter trimester.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't end how I wanted it to, but again, like I'm just so. I really did learn a lot about myself this past quarter. Like
what?
Like I don't ask for help, like ever, and it only negatively impacts me. Like oftentimes I find myself saying, like I don't want to bring anyone else down, right? Like I don't want to waste their time because like they're so successful, like they're excelling in class and they're doing all the other things. Like I don't want them to have to stop what they're doing to help me,
That's
right?
exactly how I feel, and I don't ask for help.
But I just like I've truly just dismantled that notion in 2 different ways. One, oftentimes the help that I'm like so anxious about is really simple, and like in a couple minutes they can explain the concept to me, and then it's over, and then I know that concept going forward, right? Like it's such a simple thing that if I do nothing about, is just so much worse than if I like try and remedy. And I also just like there is truth behind that. Like my peers are busy. They are doing their own thing. And so, but that doesn't mean I can't ask anyone, right?
Right.
It just means that maybe at that point in time I shouldn't ask them. So like use the resources that the campus gives you. Ask for help from the professors or the TAs in your case, because I know at Purdue they're a little bit more unreachable than a smaller school. Like looking stuff up online to learn is not bad, right? I've like been diving into Veritasium videos with a like renewed vigor. Like before I watched these like physicsy science YouTube channels, it's like, oh, this is cool. But like now it's like, no, like this is really useful information. Like it's really pertinent to what I'm working on in class right now. Like it's there are different ways to learn. And I think I talked about this before. There's a song by Rush called Free Will. One of the best songs ever made. Like I love that song. And there's a lyric in it that just says, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. So if you choose just like, oh, I'm just going to like wait. I'm just going to wait. Maybe someone will just like notice I'm struggling. They'll do the hard part for me.
Right.
Like they'll reach out, fix me up without having to do anything, without me having to do anything.
You think that's a realistic thing that someone will do?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Definitely not. Like, that's a choice.
Right.
And you can really trick yourself into thinking like, oh no, like I'm not choosing to work hard or like, uh, you know, really give these studies my all. I'm just like waiting. Well, waiting is a choice. Like I'm choosing to wait and do nothing. And when you put it in that frame of mind and you stop lying to yourself, like I think I was for me, it's like it's low key embarrassing. It's like, oh, what am I doing? What am I actually doing here? You know what I mean? Like, no one's gonna pity me, so why should I pity myself? Like, you just gotta put your head down and work and ask for help. It's okay. That's what I've learned. It took me so long to like get to that point where I can say that.
When do you think you learned this? Like halfway through?
It's
at the very end?
What frustrates me most is that like I definitely knew this.
You just didn't want to believe it, perhaps.
Well, I definitely like a lot of the success that I've had in my life before college and before this moment was because I asked for help. You know what I mean? Like any success I had in swim was because I asked for like how to swim better. Like I asked for technique, or I asked like, what drill can I do? Like, how can I better? You know what I mean? Like it wasn't alone that I did that. Anything in school, I asked my parents when I was younger. I asked my teacher, I asked my peers, and later on in high school. So it was just so annoying to finally accept and reconcile with the fact that I'm not as good as I once was because I'm trying to do it by myself.
I don't even know if that's true, though, because what do you mean? As in, like, you're not as good as you once were? As in, like, you don't have the knowledge like you used to?
Come closer to the mic.
As in, like, you don't have the knowledge that you used to?
Maybe the statement "I'm not as good as I once was" is also kind of not the right thing to say. I think, like, obviously, I don't think I've like literally regressed.
Right.
It's not like I've forgotten things. You know what I mean? It's just I stopped trying to learn more. Some way along the line, along my journey through college, and even that like toward the back half of high school, I started becoming way too satisfied. Like too often I was looking around and being like, wow, like good for you, Walter. Like you're doing pretty good here. Like people know your name. You have a lot of friends. People are like excited for your future. Like you made it. And I think as soon as you start telling yourself that, like you made it, that's when
relaxing.
That's when you like. That's the only time where you 100% have not made it. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, because then,
like, I'm still pretty young. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not pretty young. I'm still young. And how sad would it be to, from this point on, never learn anything else and do the same thing the rest of my life? Like
right.
That's not, when you put it like that, it sounds terrible. And that's what was happening. Like I was very okay, like suddenly okay with the fact that I would never learn anything ever again. And it's just like, so I think it's kind of pathetic in a way. It's like, it's frustrating to me. At a certain level, it's frustrating to my friends. Maybe they don't know why, like, because I didn't, but like, maybe I'm just like more annoying, or I'm lazy and they have to deal with me being lazy. You know what I mean? It affects a lot of things in life.
This is very interesting because this is definitely something that's like pertinent to me.
Yeah.
As in, like, I don't know. I'm definitely in that stage, but I'm trying not to be.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very common thing. Probably, would you argue that it's common in college? Because I see so many, like, of my friends in college. I say so many. I have like 3. And they're doing just fine. I'm like,
yeah.
All right, well, I don't know.
And you don't want to like. I'll not to take away from your point, but to talk about myself a little bit more.
Please.
You know, like from the first week of freshman year, I found like these pretty amazing people that I'm lucky to still call my friends right now. Like I've had a pretty close knit group from the beginning of my college, and we all kind of entered college the same. Like we're nervous about certain things. We don't have the whole thing figured out yet. Like we don't have it all there, right? Like we obviously need help. But unlike my friends, I didn't do anything about it. And I would just watch as like they would keep dropping time in swim, or they'd like be doing really good on their tests. And I would just react by like, well, I need to get out of their way. I don't want to be the one that drags them down.
Interesting.
Is that how you feel?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, firstly, like I'm not in sports, but like academically, I don't know. I guess I just tell myself like, well, they're probably just smarter than me, and they're getting it easier, and I'm not, and that just sucks. So I'm just doing worse, and at the heart of it, like I 100% knew it was like I'm very lazy. I'm a very lazy person. At least when it comes to like schooling, and then I don't know, I was like, well, I need to not be lazy, but I don't really want to do that. In a way, I don't know.
In a way, because like when you are your lazy self, are you happy? Like, does scrolling through TikTok or Reels, do you have TikTok?
No.
Do you have anything that you scroll through?
Probably YouTube.
Yeah.
I do catch myself. And
yeah.
I'm like,
and
this
then,
is so pointless.
And then
once
once you snap back, it's not like you were happy that you were lazy, right?
No.
Like,
it's just I was.
You just were.
Yeah.
And it's very just frustrating, dude.
It has to be with just stuff that I'm not interested in.
Yeah.
Who's really interested? Like my uncle was telling me that you have to like convince yourself to try to learn, like that you want to learn.
Yeah. That is crucial.
I find it so hard because like, well, I don't, especially a lot of topics that I don't see correlation to what I want to do. I don't know why.
What did you want to do?
I don't know. There's like,
and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you knew what you wanted to do, then you would go do it. You know what I mean? Like I truly believe that, and I really sympathize or empathize with that. Like I get you.
Right. If I want to do mechanical engineering, right? And I'm in chemistry.
Yeah.
There's always argument like, well, there is correlation. It's like I don't see that. I don't see how me studying like enthalpy or I don't know, bonding, I don't care. I really don't. And then I just like further regress. I don't know. It just gets worse, and then I'm like, well, I don't care. It doesn't really pertain to me, and I don't really want to learn it, and I'm probably gonna forget it anyway. That's another thing is like thinking like, well, if I don't use it all the time,
so
I'm studying it for a test, and then I'm just losing it later.
There's a lot of science and data to prove that like, yes, you will probably learn something, especially in a mechanical engineering discipline, like where you learn so much and you end up using so little. Like you will more than likely forget it, right? But the data proves that once you learn something the first time, relearning it is so much easier.
Okay.
And that's why. I think this is something that like I still grapple with. And I guess like please take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt because I'm still going through it and I'm not an authority by any means. But what no one talks about is that there's so much trust that you need to have in your professors, in your institution, in the curriculum, because of that uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just have that, or maybe they just don't care, you know? But to me, I get that. Like, I also took chemistry, and I won't have to take, I'm done with, like, strictly chemistry classes. I'll have like, applied engineering courses in the future, right? But, like, I went through it, and I was just like, this is dumb. I don't want to do this at all. But, like, I've since taken thermodynamics,
Mm-hmm.
and in that class, you learn about combustion. Because, like, in a power cycle, in different, like, thermodynamic applications, the chemical process of combustion and the production of a flame is very important. You need to know, like, how to balance equations and what reactants come from which products. So, like, in that moment, I was like, okay, like, it took me a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but I got there. Like, I understand now, a year later, why I learned chemistry. And if I just trusted my professor, which I didn't, honestly, I didn't. He was a great guy, but, like, in that moment, I was like, this is stupid. Like, I know this is not going to pay off. And, like, what an asinine concept.
Right.
Like, that's, if it's not important, why do they make you learn it? Like, you have to trust there's a reason for it.
I think another thing for me is so many of the classes that I'm in right now are not, like, specialized. So I'm
Yeah.
in with, like, 300, 400 people.
Yeah.
So it makes it less of, like, well, this is, like, an important thing that we're learning. This is just, like, well, everyone has to do this. So this is just, like, a very general means of education.
Right.
I've really gotten into philosophy lately. It's been very interesting to me because in one of my English classes, that's what we're learning. He's just, like, we're reading a ton of philosophy and stuff like that. And I found it very interesting. I don't know. It's something I've found interesting, like, in high school and stuff, but then like, as of late, I've learned, like, well, this, like, really, really does interest me a lot. It's probably my favorite class.
Yeah.
I do not like English. Not an English fan.
Yeah.
That's another one that I would argue that, like, I don't see the value in it. For mechanical engineering, I don't see the value, I guess, of, like, learning this philosophy that we're going through.
Yeah.
I have another English class that's, like, oral communication that you can argue that it's beneficial to learn how to present and stuff like that. I still don't really enjoy it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not in any, like, ME classes yet, and that's
Yeah.
what I want to talk about. Is I'm thinking about possibly moving from mechanical engineering to mechanical engineering technology.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I've always enjoyed MET much more, as far as, like, what you actually do. It's a lot more, like, hands-on, and I don't know. I enjoy that much more. But the pay for ME, I always thought was greater. I don't think it's as big of a deal as maybe what I thought. And for, like, what I'd be doing, I think I'll enjoy being in MET much more.
Yeah.
It also cuts a lot of, like, well, instead of having to take, like, Calc 3 and then differential equations after that, and, like, I stop at Calc 2, which is where I'm at now. I'd have to take Physics 2, and then it would kind of, I mean, I would take probably, like, thermodynamics and other stuff like that, but a lot of stuff kind of, like, stops, and there's just a ton of, like, MET courses. So yeah, that's been interesting. Something that I've been, I guess, wrestling with lately.
I worked with an internship last summer. I was part of the process engineering team, which just means, like, in a manufacturing line, you're in charge of the process. Like, everything on the line that could go wrong, like, you gotta address it. Like, why did it break? What went wrong? How to fix it? And I was on a team of 3 other guys, so I was, like, the fourth wheel, kind of. I was tagging along, watching him work. And one of them was a MET from Purdue, and he was a great guy. I think he was brilliant. He was obviously very smart. He was very good at his job. He could carry, from my point of view, as much of the weight that the senior process engineers were doing. Again, from my point of view, I'm sure there was a lot more nuance. So is it ultimately, at the end of the day, like, that decision comes down to what you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think it's safe to say, like, if you get the MET degree as opposed to ME degree, you could probably expect a lower income,
I think
at least at first.
it depends on where you're going, though. If you're going to some place like Caterpillar, like I don't know. There are some places that fully just pay equivalently because like they do hands-on and technical things.
Right.
But I probably like in general there's less. But I guess that's the argument is like, well, I wouldn't want to do an ME's work, like theoretical work.
Yeah.
Like I never had interest in that. I only wanted to do it and then just do like MET work.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know if that's like realistic at all.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, I think the pay just becomes. You can't say like, well, pay means nothing at all. I'll do it for free.
Right.
But it becomes less of like, okay, well, if I'm making like slightly less than an ME, but I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, I don't get it's worth it to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting.
When do you have to make that decision?
It will be in probably like April.
Okay.
I'm gonna like apply and like I have to like schedule a meeting and stuff with that school. It'd be like a bachelor degree of science and stuff like that. I don't know. I always thought MET as just like a lower, like it was like a worse mechanical engineer. In a way, like it was just like frowned upon or.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really feel that way anymore. It's a different role.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely places where MET people are like more sought after than ME people.
Yeah.
In specific fields. So, and that's like the field that I think I've always wanted to go into anyway. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Something to think about.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, don't. Oh my gosh. I've also been like misunderestimating. That's not a word. I've been underestimating the mental strain of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at a certain point, I just wish I made more decisions quicker. Like, the big decisions that tormented me in my life did so because they dragged on forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, it's very good to think about this thing. This is kind of a big decision. But, I don't know. Once you feel like you're like ready, then I say go for it. Like, dive in. Don't worry about what happened. Like, if this is something you want, then I would just.
Right. That's the thing is I don't want, like I'm terrified of being late, and I'm gonna have to have like an extra semester or two.
Yeah.
Because I'm so late in. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still doing a lot of like. I'm like my schedule's filled with like core classes that I need, but I'm not taking any like MET courses. I don't know. That kind of haunts me, but I don't know. It should be fine. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So, what does your next trimester look like? What are we looking at?
We're looking at. I don't know. Do you want to talk about like next classes?
Or no? Do you not want to? No.
I don't think it matters.
Oh, it was a stupid idea. All right.
I don't think it was a stupid idea.
I'll scrap it. That's fine. Stupid idea. You know what? This will just be Walter's podcast.
No, Logan. Dude,
it's almost spring. It's almost spring.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner.
Spring forward is tomorrow, and tonight, technically, while I'm not thrilled about losing an hour. Oh my gosh, dude! I want sun. I want the sunshine.
So do I, dude.
I'm so like. My college town's so gray.
Is it?
It's gray all the time.
Okay,
like
well, so is mine. Mine's pretty gray.
I'm borderline developing rickets right now. Like I'm so vitamin D deficient. It's crazy.
I'm so excited, dude. I'm so excited.
We have like a sand volleyball court.
Okay.
And I will be playing so much sand volleyball once it gets warm out, dude. In the spring every year, there's a 4v4 tournament that the school hosts. So you pick 3 other guys, and you just go at it for the whole day. Oh, dude, we won last year. It was so much fun.
I really want to play volleyball again. I played it at graduation parties, honed in my skill, and stopped. Also, are you doing sports right now?
Right now, no. Like
But you plan to soon.
next year, I'll join the swim team. Yeah.
Good.
Good.
I'm not.
Good.
Dude, that's something else I've thought about. How I just left soccer behind, dude.
And does it kind of hurt?
So that's the thing, dude. I'm saying dude like 8 times in a row.
Nah, dude, you're fine, dude.
The stuff that I was good at,
Yeah.
I'm like leaving behind.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't know why.
And then I'm like, okay, well, it's school stuff, and I suck at this.
Yes.
So I just suck now.
Yes. Wow. Yes. I agree with that.
I've playing guitar
Mhm.
once a week maybe.
Yep.
I don't know. I started playing video games, like playing Skyrim within the past week. I haven't played video games since like summer, and then I
Yeah.
picked up Skyrim over the weekend
Uh huh.
and like started playing again. I was like, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
This is so much fun. And then I played it for like a week, and then played it on the weekend. Like I stayed up really late playing Skyrim. I was like, dude, this is just so fun. And then the week came around, and I was like, well, I don't really have time for this anymore. And then I haven't played it like the last week.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it was fun.
Would you ever play like a club soccer?
I don't know. We tried to organize to go play like just a group of like 20 of us or 10 of us, just like go out to a field and play outside. But I don't know. We never was busy, and I don't know. Always excuses.
Always excuses.
The Purdue doesn't have a men's soccer team, which I think I've talked about, and that sucks. They have a club team, but it's like, I don't know. I'm discouraged to try to. These guys are probably insane. Like these guys have probably played like. I've played like all my life, but these guys have probably played even more of all their life.
Yeah.
Have been working out though. I enjoy that. It's been really fun. It's something I look forward to every day.
Yeah. If you can get into that headspace, that is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
That's so awesome that you can like look forward to working out.
But is it though?
I think
like-
so.
Well, the peak of my day is like working out. And that's something that I never thought was like
But
that great. Like, well, it's like
but now you do, right?
because the other is so low. Because the other is doing schoolwork, and I hate that. So I can go work out, and now working out is like
An escape.
is Helios, is the sun.
What? What?
Okay, you don't know that?
No, I know the Titan Helios
Okay,
was
I
in
thought he used
charge
to be
of
the
the
sun.
sun. Yeah,
I thought people believed he was the sun.
sure.
All right,
No, that's not. I know the lore. I know the mythology
okay.
behind that.
The one was confusing
But why are you calling working out the sun?
because it's like, oh, they liked Helios, right?
I guess.
So then I guess schoolwork would be like Hades or something.
So wouldn't it be the moon then?
Did they hate the moon?
I don't
No, they just had another. It was like, oh, this is the moon. It's like, this is the sun. It's like, oh, this is the moon. This is the sun, Helios. That's what I'm
I
guessing.
forget what the moon's name was. In the Titans, I know it's Artemis and Apollo.
You probably know more than me. I don't know.
I forget what the moon Titan was.
I don't know.
Anyway, weird metaphors aside,
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know, if you are looking at working out as an escape,
Mm-hmm. Okay, are you saying like it's good that I have that, or
I'm
it's
trying- I'm-
good that like I have to have an escape?
I'm trying to decide right now.
Okay.
Because when you first introduced this topic, I was like, oh, it's great that you want to work out. Like,
It is. I think it's it is a good thing.
okay, I just think like thinking of it in terms of it being an escape is kind of like
Mm-hmm.
not sad.
I was gonna say sad.
Just not what you want to hear, man. I don't know. It's like when I think of using things as an escape, I think of like alcohol. Like people use alcohol as an escape, or they use substances as an escape. And like I don't think if you're like doing it right, personally, I don't think you should ever want to escape anything.
Right. Because an
So-
escape would mean that whatever you're escaping is bad.
It's bad, right? And it's like
Is school bad?
Okay, objectively, I think no, right? I think like that's something that we both had to figure out how to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it's unfortunate that we're both still kind of in that mindset.
But you're getting out of it, dude.
I'm getting out of it. I
Hey,
like
you're
I'm like clawing out of this hole. Like
Mhm.
I'm finally getting some footholds.
I've got 2 feet in the grave.
There are some jugs on this hole. They're not crimps anymore. They're like full on jugs. I can climb out. You know what that means?
No.
It's like a climbing grip thing.
Okay.
Like giant.
But I was like, exactly. That's right.
Yes, I concur.
You want to see something?
Sure.
I'll describe it to the listeners in a minute.
Why do you have that in your pocket? Why?
Why do I have what?
I was not expecting that at all. I was like, I'd honestly be like a Pokemon card or something.
They're hot.
They are hot. Even sitting on these Johns.
It's a pair of brass knuckles.
Yeah, it is a pair of brass knuckles. Why do you have a pair of brass knuckles, Logan?
I thought they were sick. He's gonna carry them.
Where'd you get them from?
Order them. BrassKnucklesCompany.com if you guys want to go.
Honestly, I think they're a little bit small for me.
Okay, you have to wear them at the middle, or slightly above.
Ah.
You want the brace to be in line with your hand. So I wear them slightly above my knuckle.
So
It's something
you want resting right there. Because
no.
if this is terrible,
Let me
they can't see what we're doing. Basically, like, how do I explain this?
He's putting them on. He's clenching his fist.
And the guard, like the rest, the thing that fills the void of your fist, is too small for me. Like it's not making contact with my palm.
Your big.
So there's no support. My hands are too big.
Paws.
Whereas like
okay, no, you don't. Not like that.
Okay, because when I hold it like this,
no, you don't want it at the this part, the top of your palm. It's hard.
Well, that's one that fits.
Let me see.
I saw something that was like if you have like a half-inch, that's probably too big. Maybe like a 1/4-inch PVC pipe, and you just cut it to size and put it in between your fists, like make a fist around it. That is like incredibly dangerous. If you just like hold like nothing on top, just like you hold a tube.
It's better, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's better than a regular fist. I don't know if it's better than because this with being a proper size. Okay, look, this is trying to be like on my palm.
Yeah.
That's why I have them above my knuckle.
Yeah.
And I used to wear them. Some people wear them like all the way up their fingers.
Yeah.
Not good.
You ever clocked someone with your brass knuckles?
I just got them the other day. But you carry them in the.
So that means you will eventually.
Just waiting. Waiting for the.
You keep them warm in your booty pocket.
You put them in your back pocket, and then people are like coming up to you, and they're like, it's something I think about all the time.
Yeah.
And someone's like,
yeah, me too.
We're gonna stab you right now. I'm like, okay. And I put both my hands in my back pocket like I'm relaxed. I'm like, okay, what's up? Steps in, boom. They're already on my fingers, and then they're dead. And then I'm on the run. And then I'm on the run from the law. And then there's people shooting at me. And like, boom, boom, boom. Hey, stop this, stop. And I'm like, no, you stop. And I punch and I hit their bullets back with my brass knuckles. I'm ding, ding.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree, man.
So, okay.
How much time do you spend thinking about this? How much time do you spend with your brass knuckles in your pocket just like, boy, I wish they would try me right now?
No, see, it's not like that. It's like, I often used to think about like, what would I do in a situation where like I was being jumped? What would I do? Or would I just... Or if someone had pulled up next to me, I'm walking down the street, right?
Yeah.
And they pull up next to me in a car, and they point a gun at me, and they tell me to get in. And most people, okay, don't hurt me. You can shoot me right here. Shoot me right here. Right here. In public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, usually
do it, and then they won't. And they'll be like, I don't want to make a mess. I don't want to get caught.
I feel like if they're like, I don't think those kind of things happen in
they don't.
Public places in broad daylight.
They don't. But I'm thinking if they do.
Oh, okay, sure. Then yeah, I think you're right. But like if you're like walking in like a bad part of town near an alley,
I wouldn't be there.
Well, there you go, folks.
I just wouldn't be there.
You heard it here first.
A discussion we were having completely swung. We swung this from school to what do you think would win? Someone with a pair of brass knuckles or someone with a pocket knife? Equal in every attribute.
Pocket knife or brass knuckles?
Mm-hmm. A knife, you have slightly more range.
Right.
I don't say that's a fair argument. You're hand to hand, dude. You're so close. You're not okay. You swing at me with a knife, and then you nick me with the small amount of extra range that you have.
Like a Swiss Army pocket knife?
See, I don't know. Because my friend was arguing, well, if he has a big enough knife, I was like, well, how big are you going to carry?
If it's like the pocket knife where you hold it and it
And
folds in half.
Yeah.
Like the knife where you fold in half and it opens up. Yes, exactly this knife. I was thinking about exactly this knife right here that you have in your pocket.
Yeah.
There's no way brass knuckles are beating this knife.
How? How so?
Even if you get clobbered by a brass knuckle,
one punch could knock you out.
One stab could kill you.
Immediately? Immediately?
Not immediately, you're right.
Not immediately. So, you stab me in a vital organ that I guess I'm stupid and I don't block. And then I grab your arm and I hold you in.
If it's like...
And I just go, well, I'm not going to let you do that.
Dude,
they're equal in fighting power, dude. They're not just going to...
You can win any of these stupid arguments by saying, well, I'm just not going to let you do that. If it is a, Swiss Army,
like half-inch blade.
Like toothpick pocket knife, I think the brass knuckles win. But if it's that knife, I mean, how big is that knife?
Like 4 inches.
Yeah, dude, brass knuckles are not beating that.
Dude, okay, if you stab in and then they just happen to maneuver you around, you don't get stabbed, and then they just punch you, you're done. One try.
Okay, and if you punch in and the guy weaves and then stabs you in your gut, then you die.
See, and this is where it comes in. So does the knife automatically win, or does it come down to who's better
your
at
argument?
combat?
Yes, your argument is that they're actually the same.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're both one punch. Okay, a punch in the ribs or something, break bones. A punch a good hard punch could be lethal even of brass knuckles.
But you have to land it.
I think a high chance of knocking them out.
Yep.
A knife, I think, is equally comparable. You could slash. It's like, all right, well, now I'm bleeding, but I'm not dead. I'm not dead yet. Or you could puncture, you could stab me right in my heart or right in my neck, I guess. So I don't know. I think they're equivalent.
I think they're equivalent.
All right, good talk.
I'd give it 51-49 in the knife's favor.
See, okay, so then you said that they're equal. I was like, okay, well, then he means 50-50. And then you're like, I give 51-49. I'm like, wait, why are you doing that?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I just hope I never have to deal with either, bro. I'll pull out my blicky and then
Wait, what's a blicky?
Oh, it's
for the audience.
Maybe we should cut that out.
Why?
Maybe we should cut that out.
Why?
I don't know. Is that bad?
I don't know what it is.
Wait, what does Tyler the Creator say? He says blammer.
What's a blammer?
It's a gun.
So is that what a blicky is? Or no? Because whenever you say blicky, I'm thinking
let's cut this whole thing out, bro.
Like blinker.
Let's cut this whole thing out.
Why?
This is so bad.
Why?
I shouldn't have said that.
What is wrong?
I'm not. No.
What is wrong with it? We're gonna get demonetized?
No, whatever. It's stupid.
It's not stupid, dude. It's in your head that you think that this is stupid. It's in your head that you think that this is a stupid conversation.
Okay. How are you and Maddie doing?
Good.
Can I say her name?
Sure.
How is she? Okay.
Good.
Good.
Birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
Have to buy stuff. Haven't got anything yet. Then our anniversary's coming up.
Yeah.
Have to buy stuff. Valentine's Day was last month or last.
Did you buy stuff?
Have to buy stuff. Yep.
That's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. Small price to pay, though, right? As they say.
I have no way of fathoming if it's a small price to pay. You're asking the wrong guy to agree with you there.
So, Switching to you, nobody on the radar?
Nope.
Interesting. Both sides of the fence.
Well, I only really focus on one side of the fence. I'm not gonna lie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's none. Too focused, right? On school?
Yeah. I don't know. Is that?
That's not bad.
I don't think that's bad. I thought it was bad. I really did.
If you graduate and you're completely single, though.
See, that's kind of tough though, because like in the short term, you can just say I'm focusing on school, and that's fine. No one will fault you, but
you can just be
you
focusing
can't.
on work.
Like really, like I'll go another 2.5 years without ever finding anyone, without ever like
no love.
Not even that. Like not even that. Like forget about true love. Just like making a move at all. Like trying to get a girlfriend. Period. Will I go 2.5 years without that? Will I be a full-grown adult, living on my own, working a real job, never having dated anyone ever? Like, is that where this is going? Maybe that's a really big logical leap. I think the secret. I've been advised by many people this past since we last talked. Like, my sister, a couple of RAs, they're all like, the moment you stop looking. Like you stop trying so hard, they'll kind of fall in your lap. Like they kind of appear. And I disagree. Because I feel like I go pretty long.
Because you've not been looking for a long time now, right?
I go pretty long periods of time without looking. Like I'm like 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe that's not. Is that long enough? I don't know. But then like I'll go through cycles. I'll be like, okay, well, whatever. Like just take a deep breath. It's fine. Do your schoolwork. Lock in, you have exams next week. So you lock in, blah, blah, blah. You're busy, you're working out, you're going to events, you're eating, you're playing an orchestra, right? You're doing schoolwork. And all of a sudden you wake up one day or like you're lying in bed and you're like, dang it, bro. So I'm still, like nothing's happened. Like I'm still not doing anything. That's what's so tough. I think I need to wait longer. I think I need to like truly be okay with like.
You should probably,
my own skin,
I
like
would
be okay.
advise 2.5 years if you wait that long.
Okay, bud.
This is not something I have to worry about. I'm already locked in, so it's not.
You're locked in.
I'm locked in.
You're not geeking. You're locked.
I'm locked. So there's no. And for the audience, if they don't know what that means, locked in is like.
Dear God.
Well, let's hear your explanation
Of what locked in means?
Yep.
It means you're dialed, bro.
What does that mean?
It means you're like focused.
Okay, there we go.
Not like trapped inside of a cage you can't get out of.
Right.
Like not like
I'm
in
locked,
need of a key.
I'm locked in this room.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. No.
What do you think the word diva means?
Uh,
Something I'm thinking about.
You not know what the word diva means?
I looked it up at once, and then I forgot.
Okay. I guess.
Like, dude, you're being such a diva right now.
Like I don't know, someone who's like sassy or
interesting.
I don't know. I've never been asked to define diva before. Someone who's sassy or
Feminine?
No,
Nah.
I don't think so.
Nah, I didn't think so either. I was like,
Or like
well, it's not this.
or arrogant.
Arrogant. Interesting.
I don't know.
So diva can be male.
I've heard guys called a diva before.
As a joke, or as in like?
I don't think I've ever.
It's a diva guy.
I don't think I've.
That guy's a diva.
I don't think I've ever heard someone unironically use diva like in an academic way. Yeah, FDR was kind of a diva. No, don't think so. Maybe Franklin Delano Roosevelt was sassy, but I don't think, even if he was, he'd be called a diva. Unironically.
Okay, sure.
Here, okay, you know what? We're gonna jump back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. No, we're gonna go back a ways to the start of the podcast.
Okay.
You know what I like realized like very recently, like last night.
Okay.
Something like a motivation to do better in school.
Lay it on me.
We just talked about defining locked in and diva,
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of terms that didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, diva's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Locked in, you know what I mean? Like stuff that hasn't always been.
Well, locked in has been around for a while too.
Yeah, but like
that guy's
diva's
locked
been
in.
like diva's been around since like I was born,
Right.
and locked in's been like the past 2 years, right?
No. Like-
Past 3 years.
Oh, that animal's locked in. He's locked in that cage right there.
Here's the thing. when you're scrolling through whatever you're scrolling through
Mhm.
or watching like slop
Right. That's exactly what I'd call it.
in high school, let's say, for example, I found it useful to like pay attention to this media.
Mm-hmm.
It would make conversations at lunch a lot more funny.
Mm-hmm.
It would make conversing with people across school a lot funnier because we're all seeing the same thing. We're all consuming the same popular media. But now, it didn't, like now, in the present, it didn't matter at all. It doesn't matter. I don't remember any of that, right? Like, I don't remember any of this, like, weird terminology. I'm always, like, last to hear about, I don't know. The last thing I heard about was like Huzz.
Yeah, that's probably the last I've heard.
Like, Huzz is, like, I was very late to that. I don't think it really matters that much. You know what does? And what has not changed in, like, centuries? Math.
Here we go.
I'm serious.
Here we go.
I'm being so serious right now. Like math and what's the opposite of liberal arts?
Republican arts.
No. I don't know. Math and traditional academia
I guess conservative arts, but
it never changes.
Okay. And then?
And so like I think when you put it in terms like that, like it's much more worthwhile to learn.
Yeah, but we can't learn it because our attention span is shot. It's shot to heck.
You can.
Now we just have to eat more slop and we just a big pile of slop. And we're just eating it on
You
up.
can vomit out that slop, and you can start eating fruits and vegetables.
Do I want to?
See, and there it is. There, it all comes back to that. Do you want to? Nobody can make you want to do anything.
That's true. I don't know.
There's
but I would argue that, the jokes that you could have made along the way in high school, that mattered. Sure, it was slop jokes.
Yeah.
But what would you have had? What, are you going to talk about math at the table with our friends?
I guess not. I guess you're right in that sense. It was like an important skill to converse with.
Mm-hmm. But was it though? I don't know. Was it really? Because it was worthless. But that's just how we had to talk.
It's worthless now. I don't know. Like, I don't talk to anyone from high school, really.
Do you talk to anyone at college and are like, what's up, my diva? You're like Unk today.
No, I don't say that.
Nothing like that.
I say, hey, man.
Hey, Pythagoras. Like that.
Hey, man. Sure. Hey, Pythagoras, you tired? And he'll be like, yes, I'm very tired. And I'll be like, me too. And then I'll be like, okay, it's Tuesday, and we still have 3 more days of...
So do you think this is a more important? Is that a more, like, vital
I think in my surroundings right now, yes. Like, it's way more important to learn math than focus on any of this other meaningless stuff.
Okay.
But what got me ahead was, like, I don't know, being relatable and being able to talk to people. So I don't know.
So you didn't want to stand out back then. You wanted to be like...
I wanted to be Skibbity.
Interesting. That's an old one. That's a throwback.
Is that a throwback?
It is. A couple of years now, I bet.
It started a couple of years ago, but like...
Yeah. So, okay, I've thought about it before. There's some words... First, I used to think, like, if I had come up with this word and it took off like this, it'd be insane. Because it's just so random, and I don't know how it makes sense. Second, who comes up with this? Like, who actually... derives these words, and they're like, okay, this is what's funny right now. And then the third thing is I forgot it. Oh, the third thing was, like, I don't remember 2 years ago what something was. I don't remember what this word. Like, we learn it, and then what was last month's quirky word? No idea. And is it just gone now? I think it is.
Yeah.
There's some words that come from it's like unk is from like African American like slang or terminology or something like that. And it was like, I mean, it is what it was, and then I don't know, it just got turned into like a joke, I guess. So
I don't know, dude.
I know. You're like
old. I played with one of my friends who's a junior in high school. Like I knew him from back in high school. We both swam, and he was talking to me. He was like, dude, you are old. Like, you are an old man now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn. I think I am. You're right. It was just weird. Like, in that moment, I was like, I'm playing Smash Bros. With you, and, like, just feel so old.
You're not, though, dude. You're like, what, 2 years?
I'm 2 years older than him, yeah.
Yeah. It's 2 years, dude. But you feel like it.
Yeah, I feel like
We're
I'm...
in college now. Those are big dogs.
Yeah, dude.
Freshmen's like, we're like looking down on them with haughtiness in our eyes, and we're like, this rubbish beneath me.
Dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. First half, getting into it.
Second half, talking about if my knife would kill you.
Yeah, and it was literally very fun. Literally. So yeah, I guess we'll see you guys in the next episode, whenever that will be, because we're still in school.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can stop with the hounding, the mail packages, the freight coming in.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can stop with all of that. We're in school right now, man.
Yeah.
Man and woman, we're in school right now.
We'll see you guys next time.
All right, see you guys.